All right.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
The Daily Sports Rant is officially back.
Finally. It's been what? It's been a while.
It has been 2 weeks-ish.
Yeah.
At least since
probably
we've
more
both
than
been
that.
here. I know
well,
you
yeah.
got in here
I got
last
that
Tuesday.
show in last Tuesday. But I mean, we haven't. When we got locked out last Wednesday, first of all, that's why we weren't here. We were here.
Oh, yeah.
We were here.
All you fans out there, we were here.
We were here, but we were locked out because
all of our disgruntled fans.
Our disgruntled, like 3 fans out there.
Our dad.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. But yeah, we're finally back.
We were here, and we just.
I mean,
we got screwed.
Whoever got the key just decided they wanted to open it up and then just lock it again behind them. I don't know what the deal was with that.
I was kind of angry.
Yeah, I mean, we were up.
Yeah, exactly.
we woke up ready to go. Thought we were going to actually do a show, but no, of course not.
So we have everything from last show and the past 2 weeks to basically cram in the next 9 days, which would be 6 shows for baseball at least.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 because we want to do a whole baseball show next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
we'll try.
We got Tebow Mania today because Tebow's
Yeah,
officially announced
guy.
as a Jet today.
Yeah, great.
We got the Yankees and Rays MLB previews and the NCAA tournament.
Tiger. We could talk about Tiger.
4 teams have punched their tickets to New Orleans.
Yes, indeed.
It is all set for next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's looking good, bottom line.
We'll just start with that.
Kentucky is a powerhouse at this point.
Kentucky's awesome. I just can't see anyone beating them at all.
I have Kansas winning it all just because I figured, just in my pool, I figured, if it came down to it, if I had Kansas, I'm going to win. But, Kentucky's ridiculous.
I wanted to pick Kentucky, and you know what? I probably should have.
Yeah, I mean.
Because there's no stopping that. For some reason, I just thought they were going to lose at some point. I don't know why.
Me too. I was like, yeah, maybe, somebody will take them down.
It's just, maybe because they're so good that they would just get down on themselves or something. It just happens in sports. But it didn't.
And, it didn't so far.
I didn't think
we're not done yet.
Yeah, I didn't think Indiana would really be a tough matchup for them, but I mean, Kentucky kind of breezed by that one.
They're breezing by everybody. Like, it's nothing right now. I mean, their whole team is like an NBA team. I mean, they got the first 2 picks in the draft on their team.
They do.
So it's like, hey, try to stop us. It's kind of ridiculous.
And honestly, I think that game's going to be the better of the 2, the Kentucky-Louisville.
That's going to be awesome.
Pure rivalry between the 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, I think the Kansas-Ohio State game will be all right. I think Kansas can take them. I mean, they looked good yesterday.
Kansas beat them in the regular season this year.
Yeah.
But Sullinger was out during that game, so we'll just say that.
Indeed.
And he's just such an impact player, and you saw what the impact he had on the Syracuse game.
Oh, clearly. I mean, he was on the bench for like the whole first half because of
He
foul
was
trouble.
on the bench for 14 minutes in the first.
Yeah, exactly. And then he came back
and they won it because of him.
Exactly, clearly. But I think Kansas looked good against Carolina. We can't. I mean, even though Marshall was out for Carolina and he pretty much runs the team, I mean, they still had Zeller and Henson and Barnes to worry about, and they just shut everybody down.
Right, and I'm not saying there's excuses. Carolina still had a great team.
Yeah.
But that injury definitely hurts them, and
they're lost without him.
If for some reason, because I had them winning it all.
Yeah.
If I had known about the injury beforehand, there's no way
you're picking
team.
Them.
And I heard of Melo obviously before the whole tournament started, and I had them losing in the second round. But I mean, they went on to the Elite Eight, which is better than I thought. But still,
I saw that, and I still had them going to the Final Four, and almost. But almost.
Well, that I never get down on athletes, at least collegiate athletes, for not playing well or living up in the spotlight. 'Cause they don't play for money.
Exactly.
But it was tough to watch that Syracuse game. And, when we talk about it, I think the only thing that comes to mind to talk about is the officiating. I don't know if you watched that. And I don't want to call it an excuse, and it's not an excuse at all. But it's like they met before the game and said, we're going to call everything.
Yeah. It was kind of ridiculous. I mean, I saw some of the game. I didn't see the whole thing. But, from what I heard, it was
Ohio State had 45 free throws, and Syracuse had 25.
I mean, that's
There was a combined over 40 fouls. It
was too much.
I think 2 Syracuse players and 1 Ohio State player got fouled out.
Yeah.
And everyone else was in foul trouble.
No, yeah, everybody was in foul trouble. It was ridiculous. I don't even know what happened.
They made it unwatchable because of the start-stop.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why I was getting bored of it. I was like, what the heck is this?
Exactly.
I watched the first half, and I was like, I'm done with this. So.
And Syracuse should have ran away with it in the first.
They should have. They really had to capitalize on Sandra being out, and they couldn't.
Well, and they didn't capitalize on that. And 2, Ohio State was just missing every single shot. I think they were like something 8 for 21 at some point for field goal percentage.
Mm-hmm.
They needed to capitalize, and they didn't. And so, there's another excuse you could say that they didn't do well because of that, but the officiating was just awful.
Yeah.
And you got to just let them play. It's
that's
the Final Four.
Exactly. I mean, at this point in the game, you got to let them play. You can't let it be won or lost. I mean, obviously, it wasn't won or lost, but you can't have that much of an impact if you're a ref, I feel.
And, who knows what would happen if the officiating was different. Ohio State is that good. They could have won it.
No, yeah, they're good. We're not taking anything away from them.
We're not saying it's an excuse. It's just you got to let these kids play. It's for the Final Four.
Exactly. It's for the Final Four. I mean, I don't know. I think I like the Final Four right now, though. They're all good teams.
All great teams.
They're all great teams.
It's going to be a great Final Four.
Yeah.
I wish it was the Final Four in my bracket, but
I mean, me too.
My bracket was just screwed from day one.
Yeah,
put it that way.
I mean, I'm still hanging around. I had Missouri in the Final Four, which I thought was going to kill me.
Killed me.
But I had 7 out of the 8 Elite 8 I had. Really? Right. I just missed Missouri, and then I got 2 out of my 4 Final Four, and still my final Kentucky, Kansas. So still hanging.
See, I was really high on VCU. And Vanderbilt.
I had Vandy in the Sweet 16.
And they couldn't get out of round 2, so I had them both going to the Final Four, so that really
that killed you right there. That killed you.
Because they were good enough. It's just this year was crazy.
Yeah.
And I had Duke going to the Elite 8. Like you said, I had Missouri going to the Final Four.
I mean, you were a mess right there. You were a mess.
It was a bad bracket year.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
I feel like every few years you have that.
Oh, yeah.
You just have that.
This year was just different. I've never seen 2 15 seeds win in the same.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure everyone was.
The dude on Lehigh, McCullum or whatever, the dude was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Good to watch. That was fun.
I didn't get to watch him, but.
It was fun.
When I heard the news, I
was loving it. Absolutely loving it. But there's been some good games out there. Yep. Otherwise.
And
it's been exciting.
3 games left will be just as exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Louisville, Kentucky.
That's gonna be big. The rivalry.
Huge rivalry, and it's the whole state. No one's gonna talk to each other.
I know it's gonna be great. I hope Louisville can knock them off. I don't like Kentucky. I don't like them.
I'm not rooting for anyone. I just want a really good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see.
I just want Louisville to get there, so hopefully if Kansas gets there, it's easier to beat them. And then
so then you win your bracket.
Exactly. Exactly. But
that's not a bad idea.
No, we'll see, though. We'll see.
No.
We'll see. So, and we'll go to TiVo now, I guess.
Tim Tebow traded to the New York Jets from the Denver Broncos. And Tim Tebow makes his way into the sports media talk yet again.
Great.
All season he was in.
I thought we were done with it for now.
I thought so too, because whenever I turned the TV on, it was, Tim Tebow this, Tim Tebow that.
Oh, during the season, him and Skip Bayless, I want to punch that guy in the face. That's all he talks about. Tim Tebow.
Well, after Peyton Manning signs with the Denver Broncos, Tim Tebow gets traded for a 4th and a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
And the Jets had to pick up $2.5 million of his payroll. And for a second there was a break in the deal because the Jets didn't have enough money.
Yeah.
Right there, you need to say no.
Exactly.
that was your
out right there.
If you were Mike Tannenbaum, that was the one chance you got to say, you know what?
No.
This is a bad deal, and I don't want to take it.
Why do we no? Why would you want Tebow?
This is the worst deal. I can't even.
What is it doing for you?
Nothing.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well, I want to hear your take.
Well, I despise the whole Tebow mania. I mean, not like the guy, whatever. But the whole like thing surrounding him and the whole thing, and then I just think he stinks. First of all, he's not a good quarterback. He can't throw the ball anywhere. I mean, does he have the gamer aspect? Okay, sure, yeah. Obviously, he's got that whole gamer thing, but he has no skill whatsoever in terms of being a quarterback. I think he could, maybe try him out somewhere else. Like, I mean, he could run, put him at fullback. I don't even know where you want to put him, but not quarterback is what it comes down to. And
you're right, though. He's a running back who can throw the ball.
Yeah.
Not efficiently, but he can throw the ball.
He can throw better than other running backs.
He can throw better than Sean Green on the Jets.
Exactly.
But you bring him in, now he's your backup quarterback, and I agree with you. It's just...
Yeah. And this puts Sanchez in a terrible position, I feel.
I can't imagine waking up as Sanchez and knowing Tim Tebow's on your team. I don't even know what to say about it because... first of all, it's just already Jets players were complaining about the deal beforehand, and this back it up even further. This locker room is just the worst locker room in sports in NFL right now. Let's just put it that way.
It's a mess over there.
No one likes each other. No one's getting along. There's no leadership. There's no anything. So they bring in Tim Tebow. They think maybe he'll be the problem. The problem solver.
No, but nobody likes him. So why the heck are they going to
already? There's problems.
Yeah. He brings more problems just because nobody likes him.
He's bringing so many more problems.
Exactly.
And then, they think they're going to use him 10 to 15 plays. Well, Tim Tebow stated that he chose the Jets over Jacksonville because it was an easier way to get to the starting quarterback. He wants to start at quarterback.
That's phenomenal.
And if he chooses the Jets over Jacksonville, who has Blaine Gabbert, who I think is terrible.
Yeah, he's not good.
Then the Jets organization must be in turmoil. If you, I can't think of a worse word than terrible to give the Jets organization. If
they're struggling, bottom line, they're struggling,
and they're struggling to sell tickets. They're struggling to be on the back page of the newspaper because the Giants just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they're just desperate for attention.
They really are. And I think obvious. If you go out and get Tim Tebow, you want some type of attention, is what it comes down to. That's the only reason you get Tim Tebow.
He's going to sell tickets. He's going to sell jerseys. I get it, from a football stance, going and getting
the business standpoint. It's
the most popular NFL player out there.
Yeah.
I get it, but God, it just...
In terms of, why would you need him? You don't need him.
It kills... Mark Sanchez is in his third year. He's going to be a fourth-year player.
Mm-hmm.
His stats are comparable to Eli Manning's of the Giants. I mean, it takes time for a collegiate athlete to break through and become an NFL quarterback. It just takes time. This kills his maturation process.
Exactly. Because now, you're going to get out there and he's going to be, you could say, it lights a fire under him, blah, 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 but he doesn't need that. He's just, developing along, and now you bring in this guy, and so now when Sanchez is out there and he stinks, and then you get the whole fans going, getting a little Tebow chant going, then everybody's just going to get upset, and it's going to be a disaster.
It's already a disaster because there are some fans out there who already want Tebow to start.
Exactly.
And you're right. Tebow doesn't need that push from this backup quarterback spot. What he needs is a coach that is good at his job to teach Sanchez, to process things. And Rex Ryan isn't an offensive genius.
No.
Tony Sparano's, he's not a great offensive coordinator. They need to bring in someone else who actually knows the system and can teach Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that they brought in Chad Pennington, and he's an all right quarterback.
Chad Pennington's not exactly,
so it just, you bring in a guy like Tim Tebow, it's not going to do anything for that. It's going to light an even bigger fire, like you said.
It's going to be terrible.
Sanchez is just going to feel like, Sanchez is always going to be looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
And the only analogy I can come up with is he'll feel like Jeremy Lin passing the ball to Carmelo when Carmelo's not open.
It's going to be terrible. Terrible for everyone. Terrible for Sanchez, the Jets in general. The fans are just going to be
when Sanchez throws a pick and loses a game, they're going to be changing Tebow.
Everybody's going to want Tebow.
And by game 3, they're going to have to, there's a quarterback controversy already.
Yeah, and then Sanchez is going to get all disgruntled, and it's going to be a mess.
Not only that, then you have the locker room problem where people are going to say, that some people already don't like Sanchez.
Yeah.
So then they're jumping on Tebow's back, and then the locker room split.
And that's
then
that's not what you want.
You cannot do what the fans. You don't have to do what the fans want. But when it comes down to locker room things, there's no getting away from that. And I just thought it was a terrible deal.
It was terrible, absolutely terrible. I mean, Tebow stinks. And
well, he can't throw. He has a 46% completion percentage.
It's a mess.
Sanchez
and then now we got to
like
hear
56.
about it. And we got to hear about it on these First Take. I hate that show. I hate it. My roommate watches it, and I absolutely hate it.
Well, we're also in the New York
exactly.
media
So
market.
we're gonna
hear about it every single day next year, starting April 1st, when all the NFL teams, start doing their work, start coming back from the winter. We're gonna start hearing about this.
Yeah.
We're already hearing about it.
We're already hearing about this.
We are talking about it.
Who cares? I don't care, but we have to talk about it because everybody else cares about it.
We do, and because it's huge news because it's Tim Tebow. And I can't get around the fact that the Jets traded first a non-quarterback.
It's mind-boggling. I don't know why this happened. I was stunned to hear this.
I laughed.
I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, when I first heard that the Jets were in the mix for it, I was like, that's like a joke. Like, why would they do that? And then, nope. I thought for sure he'd go to somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, I thought Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I thought that was the only place that would make sense.
Yeah.
The only place.
Oh. The Jets.
He goes to the Jets.
Great. Absolutely great. But, I mean... We'll see, I guess. As always, we will see.
We will see. We'll see if it works. They want to use him in the Wildcat formation. I think it's a fad that's dead.
I think the Wildcat's stupid. It's stupid. You can get anybody to run the Wildcat. You don't need to bring him. If you're gonna justify it by we're gonna run the Wildcat, so we need to bring Tim Tebow in. You didn't need to bring.
No, they had Ronnie Brown run it, and Ricky Williams run it a couple of years ago.
Exactly. You could have anybody run that offense. But no, they brought him in just because they wanted
to light a fire under Sanchez.
Exactly.
When do you think he'll start, Tebow?
I don't know.
I think Game 7.
7? I
think Game 7. Sanchez is out.
Yeah.
He's out. That's it.
And that's going to be
And they just signed...
ridiculous.
Here's what I don't get. They just signed him to a 3-year extension when he had 2 years left, so they have him for 5 years. And now they got Tebow for 2 more years.
This whole situation is a mess. Like, why? What were they thinking at this point? They're the most messed up franchise in sports right now, I think.
Besides the Mets.
Besides the Mets. You got the Jets and the Mets, and they're a disaster.
I think you're the only one I've ever met who likes the Nets. Who doesn't like the Jets and the Nets. And they all sound the same. They all have the same syllables.
Jets, Mets, Giants, Yanks.
It's Jets, Mets, Nets. That's the fan base. If you like the Jets, you like the Mets.
Yeah, it's all
in New York. I don't care if you've never been to New York. This is how we live.
This is how it happens.
You like the Jets, you like the Mets, you like the Giants, you like the Yankees.
Yeah.
I've never met someone who's the opposite of that.
That's how it is. It's how it is.
And it's just funny because those are the two teams that are just
a disaster, a complete disaster. And I mean, it's a shame, but it's happening.
I don't know what he was thinking because as a GM, I would never make that trade. And there are so many things that they could have upgraded. They have to pay Tebow however much money is on his contract, and he definitely got a big contract because he's Tim Tebow. They
which is sad.
Wide receiver needs. They didn't sign a wide receiver this offseason.
No, they're not doing anything right now.
They need offensive line help.
There's nothing. I mean,
I don't know what they did this offseason that makes them better than last year.
It's very puzzling, is what it comes down. It's just confusing. I'm still confused.
It is because they lost Plexico Burress, who, in my mind, was average for them. He caught 8 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
They didn't replace him with anyone. The whole season they said, we need offensive line help. They didn't get an offensive lineman. In fact, they re-signed their right tackle, who was the worst right tackle in the league.
Throw Tebow out there. He can do it all, apparently.
Let's get Tebow. He can do it all. He can block. He can catch. He
can do everything. He can just put him out there. See what he can do. Why not? He can't play quarterback.
Well, your answers will not be answered
for a while.
Excuse me, your questions.
Yeah.
Oh no, your answers. I mean, you're looking for help immediately, and you're not gonna get it. I'm sorry. It's just gonna be a while. And I know Rex keeps wanting to say that the Jets are better than the Giants, and the Jets run this town, but they don't.
No, they clearly don't.
And I know you have Tim Tebow now, and I know you wanted Peyton. They were desperate for Peyton.
Yeah.
And as fun as I thought that would have been, because I would have thought that was fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Both Mannings in New York.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I'm still happy that Peyton did not choose the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that for maybe 5-10 minutes
before
baseball.
Go. Yeah.
Could you imagine him in a 49ers uniform
No.
with that fantastic defense and those wide receivers?
That would be devastating for the rest of the NFC.
I think the NFC's on the rise.
Oh,
personally.
clearly. Yeah, we've mentioned that before.
Yeah. I mean, besides what happened to the Saints, because now I think they're on the downfall.
Yeah, Saints are a mess, too.
But, we said that before, that the NFC's on the rise. And if they had gotten Peyton,
forget it.
It's over.
49ers are looking golden.
The 49ers, and I think that's why he didn't pick the 49ers, because there would have been so much pressure on him.
Yeah, there's no chance. He wanted a little bit of a challenge, I think.
Well, he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
He's not. This is interesting. I didn't even know. He hasn't played under the new CBA yet. He
really?
Still has all the because that just got signed.
Oh, yeah.
He has a lot to learn because a lot changed.
I did not realize that.
He's still, and I think it was smart by him to choose somewhere other than the 49ers, because he does have, some mechanics to work out. He hasn't thrown, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot of pressure, and people would have thought, if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's a bust. So it's either Super Bowl or bust, and that really drove his decision to Denver.
Yeah, I mean, I just like the fact that I would have felt terrible for Alex Smith. I mean, Alex Smith finally has a year where he does good. Then it's nope. See you later, Alex Smith. I mean, I think he's coming back, isn't he?
Yeah, he was signed there for 3 years.
So, I mean, if he got booted after finally clicking with that offense, I would have just felt terrible for the guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like that Peyton went to Denver because I think it's pretty cool, the whole Elway thing, and Elway loves him. Clearly loves him. And that defense that they have over there is pretty solid.
It is. It's pretty damn good defense. I don't want to put it on the 49ers level, but they had a pretty good year, and the defense definitely. All right, so Tim Tebow, he won them. I don't know how many. It was like 6-7 games that he won.
Yeah.
But the defense really had to keep them in the game because Tim Tebow wasn't putting up points.
They scored more than 20 points a few times in those wins.
I mean, Tim Tebow won a NFL game completing 2 passes. So, yeah, it was mainly the defenses. It was the reason why they were in the playoffs was because of this defense.
Yeah, it was not Tebow.
So imagine you have this defense who can now take a break because, I mean, they were never off the field when Tim Tebow was there, because Tim Tebow, he was always off the field because he was just not being able to complete the passes.
He can't do anything.
Right. And until the last drive, let's just put it that way, Tebow was always on the bench.
Yeah.
And I know people say, oh my God, Tebow had them
went
come
out there
back.
and won the game.
It was the defense in my mind.
If the defense goes out there and it's just an average defense, they get smoked every single game.
They win 5 games, 6 games max.
Because they did not score. They did not score points at all. I think in those wins, I mean, he only put up more than 20 points, maybe once or twice. I saw. That's just terrible. If you're winning, that's just all your defense, in my opinion. All defense.
And so you throw that defense now in with Peyton Manning.
It was a little better than Tebow.
just a smidgen.
A little bit. I mean, that team's going places.
It looks like, 10-11.
They're looking good.
I want to say 10-11 wins because we still don't know what Peyton Manning
really
has to
don't,
bring.
yeah.
But, I want to say, and I really want to root for him. I love Peyton. He's
awesome.
He's one of those guys you don't root against.
No, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's a good guy. I mean, he's a funny guy. He's out there doing SNL. He's funny. I mean, he's a likable guy. I like Peyton.
And honestly, if it was between Denver and Tennessee, which one have you chosen?
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would have taken Denver.
I think I would have went to Tennessee only because I would have smacked the Colts twice a year.
True.
For saying, hey, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily restructured his deal.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to move on.
They did. They wanted the
with
luck. Exactly. They wanted to just completely just rebuild and just start over pretty much, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And we'll see where that takes him.
Yeah, but I do think Denver is a pretty good place for him.
Yeah.
Like we said, the defense, they have some pretty good targets and wide receivers.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, and Jacob Tamme just signed there from the Colts.
Plus, he makes anybody look better anyway. He could have me out there as a wide receiver, and he'd be fine. So, I mean.
I just think, it was right from when Peyton signed, I was like, wow, every Colt player is going to sign there now. And I thought it was interesting that Jeff Saturday didn't sign there.
Yeah, yeah.
The longtime center and best friend of Peyton,
That was interesting, that was. Because we did say before that wherever Peyton went, those guys would go too.
And they're starting to sign there. They are. But it was Jeff Saturday who was really.
Saturday was the big one that we thought was like an automatic.
Yep. I thought so.
Huh.
He went and signed with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. Yeah. We were wrong. We were wrong.
It happens.
Exactly. Won't be the last time.
What I found interesting too about the 49ers, Mario Manningham signed there. And the old Giant.
The old.
That way. Anyway, he goes into this tandem of wide receivers, we'll say, and they just signed Randy Moss as well too.
Yeah.
So they have Michael Crabtree, Randy Moss, and Manningham. Manningham's going to be in the same exact role he was with the Giants.
That is a great point.
I don't think he's realized it yet.
No, he probably has no idea.
Crabtree is the number one receiver there.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I think he needs a better quarterback than Smith. And then you put Randy Moss there. He's not going to be a number 3 wide receiver.
No, Randy Moss. No.
He wants to be a number 1 or number 2. That leaves Manningham for the slot.
Same role.
Number 3 receiver.
Why didn't you come back to the Giants, everybody?
What happened there?
What?
Manningham,
Yeah,
you
what
said
are
you
you
wanted
thinking?
to be a number 1. You said you wanted number 1 money. And
what are you doing? What is he doing? Come back to the Giants.
I just don't think anyone's really thought about that. I was just thinking about it the
I
other
didn't
day.
even
And
think
I was
about
like,
that.
wow, he's not going to do anything different.
Nope. Same role. Great.
And let's put, Eli and Smith next to each other. Who's a better quarterback? There's
Eli.
there's no competition. There's no
Eli
argument.
is clearly better.
And so now you have Alex Smith thrown to you. He's already going to need the attention of Randy Moss, Vernon Davis.
No, you're not getting the ball. Get a grip.
Frank
Eli
Gore's
will
the
spread
running
it
back.
around.
At least Eli throws
Eli
who's
throws
ever
it
open.
to everybody. Exactly. When you got a team with Randy Moss on it, you're not getting the ball. Who are we kidding?
Not only that, though, Vernon Davis as well. He's a ball.
Oh, they're all, yeah. Come on, man.
He just
you got to
didn't
think that one out.
I was just thinking about this the
He
other
did
day.
not
I was
think
like,
that one out.
wow, Manningham.
Yeah.
Should have went somewhere else. I get it. The Giants, I expected it to happen.
I didn't. It wasn't like it was blindsided,
No.
But, I thought, like you said, that he would go for that number 1 spot, and he pretty much went to a place where he's clearly not the number 1. These guys, I don't know.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. I don't know what these guys think when they're doing this stuff.
Me neither.
What are you doing?
We're quickly going to say that I don't know if you touched the Saints at all.
I did some of the bounty stuff, yeah.
So his suspension, Sean Payton, starts April 1st.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. But Bounty Gate.
They still got to sign Breeze, too, don't they?
He is a franchise tag.
Yeah.
So they still got a year to sign him. But
Mm-hmm.
eventually he will be the downfall of this team, I think. Because he was only under contract for like $9 million. Now he wants $20 million.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know who else you're going to sign.
No one.
I mean, we did talk about the fact that their top 3 free agents, someone had to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Carl Nix, the guard, who left.
Yeah.
And Colson stayed. So
Colson. They brought him back.
I saw that they signed, though, a linebacker the other day.
Did they?
I don't know, Curtis Lofton. I don't know if you heard it.
I didn't see that.
He's from the Falcons. He's pretty good. I was hoping the Giants would sign him, but of course
not.
They don't.
Giants are just chilling right now.
But, the Saints already have Jonathan Vilma, and I was just confused. And they say that it won't affect Vilma's starting spot, but
Yeah.
they both play middle linebacker, so
Who knows?
I don't
know with these NFL teams. I don't know what they're thinking.
not only the teams, the players, like
Well, the players too, yeah.
I saw that someone, I forgot who it was. I think it was Broderick Bunkley, the defensive tackle, signed with the Saints the day after Bounty Gate broke, or like a couple days.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? Because you know the Saints are going to lose a ton of money. You know that they're going to lose draft picks. You know that the head coach is not going to be there. What's wrong with you?
I don't know what these guys think. They're all
now
idiots.
More people are signing with the Saints.
They're all idiots.
You know, I don't know if it's the front end management being amazing and signing players and tricking them into thinking that they're still going to be good. Because then the front end management is awesome.
Then it's
in my point, that's the best GM I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
if you're getting players to come play for you when they know that you're on the downfall.
Oh yeah, good for you.
GM of the year.
GM of the year.
GM of the year.
I mean, I think just all these players are idiots. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah,
they're just not smart. But I mean, we'll see.
I think the biggest loser in free agency. We'll just finish with that. Miami Dolphins. So they start with, let's get Peyton. They don't get Peyton. Who's next? Let's get Matt Flynn. They don't get Matt Flynn. And I said that Matt Flynn was going to go to Seattle, and I was right.
You were right on that one. That's a good
then
call.
who? Then they try to get Alex Smith. Doesn't happen.
Nope.
they worked it down the whole ladder. They couldn't even get Kyle Orton.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They couldn't sign Chad Henne back. You know who they signed?
Who did they sign?
David Garrard.
Oh, I did see that.
The answer to all of Miami's quarterback problems now lies with David Garrard.
And we said they were just a quarterback away from being pretty solid.
Well, not anymore. They traded Brandon Marshall.
Well, yeah. Now they're a little more than that away.
Good luck next season,
yeah.
Miami.
That is not the GM of the year.
No.
That is not.
Not GM of the year.
No.
I am thinking 6 or less wins for the Miami Dolphins next year.
What a shame.
Another year.
What a shame.
Let's move to baseball.
Baseball. Yanks and Rays.
Yankees, Rays, the start of the Big East.
Yeah,
in my mind, the best division in baseball.
It's going to be absolutely wild. Wild. Everybody's good in this division. I mean, except for the Orioles. They stink, but
they have talent.
They have it there.
They have all the talent.
They're not going to go anywhere with that talent, though. They're just going to get pummeled in this division forever, for all eternity. It's over.
I also do like the Blue Jays, though.
No, I like them, too. I didn't get the chance to actually, go down yet, but, they're pretty solid.
No, they don't have the pitching there, but they have the hitting, but not,
Yeah.
They're almost there.
They're
Let's put it
close.
that way.
They're close.
This year could be the year that all three of those teams go to the playoffs. If you think about it, the wild card spot is there.
Yeah.
The two wild card spots.
Ridiculous.
Because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, there's 3 teams. They're all awesome. Only 2 of them can really go.
Yeah.
But there's 2 wild card spots. I was like, wow, they could all go.
I mean, they will. I think so. I mean,
I don't see any other team.
Well, unless you could look at it, the West. Those 2 teams.
Yeah, the Rangers and Angels. Yeah,
those 2. I mean, I like it. They're both very, very good, but.
And we were split on the Rangers and Angels finishing first. So.
Yep. So I mean, we both obviously think that they're good teams, and obviously AL East is just ridiculous. I mean, the Yanks are.
We'll start with them.
We'll start with the Yanks.
The Yankees.
I mean, the Yanks are awesome. I mean, their lineup is still. I mean, they didn't really. What did they lose? They didn't really lose anything.
They have the same exact lineup.
I mean, Ibanez. Yeah, they lost Posada, obviously, but he was not the same
bound
hitter.
To happen.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really contribute too much last year. It's not like he really lost too. I mean, obviously from a standpoint of leadership and all that stuff, but in terms of actual production, I mean, he was not the same player.
No, you're gonna get better production out of Ibanez.
Ibanez and Jones probably. When lefties are in, Ibanez is not.
Oh, he's not hitting.
He can't hit a lick off of lefties, but. And you go out and you get Kuroda and you get Pineda, who's going to be ridiculous, I think, in a couple of years. I mean, now.
A couple of years. Yeah. I think he's going to struggle.
He's going to struggle, yeah.
To begin with. Just purely because it's the AL East. And it's a huge change from coming over from Seattle.
Exactly. And, I mean, it's a whole different ballpark over, here in Seattle. Seattle's way more pitcher-friendly. And, I mean, we have to remember that he is only 23.
Right.
It's not like he's, coming. I mean, he had a very solid year last year for a rookie. But he's 23, and, if he was on the Yankees coming up, he probably wouldn't have played last year. And he still would be in the minor leagues, so we have to look at it like that, too.
Exactly. Their lineup is still the same Yankee lineup.
Still the same.
The only issue I have is with Derek Jeter starting in the leadoff spot. I don't know if you have any issue with that.
I mean, I don't have too much of an issue with it. I mean, I like him in the 2 spot, but
I like him in the 2. I like. Oh God. Well, I like Cano in the 2, and I like Granderson in the 3.
I like Cano 3.
I don't know. I just.
Cano's the better.
No, either Granderson 2, Cano 3, something like that. They had a lineup last year when A-Rod was hurt that just was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was Cano stepping up, because I think Cano now is the guy who needs to be at the number 3 and number 4. I think A-Rod's past his prime. Teixeira can't hit a ball unless it's out of the park. It just comes to the point where Granderson and Cano are now the 2 guys in New York who are going to hit and make plays and get this team riled up. So I definitely think they need to move them up in the lineup. And I know they won't, just because A-Rod has his name is A-Rod.
It's A-Rod. I mean, it's still A-Rod. I mean, he has been hurt and everything. I mean, when he plays, he's obviously still good. So, I mean, he says he's feeling pretty good. I like Cano, A-Rod 3-4 still. I mean, that would put, you don't really know where to put Granderson there. You either put him.
You probably put him at 2.
I put him 2 there.
Because he does have the speed.
I do like Jeter leading off. I think Gardner. I like Gardner 9.
Really?
I do.
I kind of like him in number 1 still. I just feel like Jeter's there because of his name, and I hate when that happens in sports.
Yeah.
And Jeter just hasn't been himself since 2008, 2009.
No, but at the same time, he did hit 330 after he came back from injury last year. And it was
right. So I mean, there's much. He has a lot to prove, at least to me, because I don't know. It's just.
I gotcha.
He's a little older. He took a lot of money last year when he signed, and he didn't really prove a lot to me. He came out, didn't really have a great first half.
No, I mean, he's obviously a different type of player. I still think he can hit. He's not going to hit for power anymore, I don't think, at all.
No.
But he's still, I mean, his on base was still over 350. It was like 351. He hit 297, and that's after being terrible in the first half. So I think he's still fine, Jeter. Obviously, his, in terms of all around, I mean, his defense gets hit hard by these sabermetric stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he makes the plays, but he just doesn't get to a lot of balls, obviously, and that's what kills him.
And that used to be his thing. Defense was who Derek Jeter was all about.
I mean, he's
gotten to a point where
he makes the plays. He doesn't make errors. He just doesn't get to anything. Right. That's what it comes down to, which is take it or leave it. But I think A-Rod. Honestly, I think A-Rod's gonna bounce back. I do.
I hope so, because what did he have, like 8 home runs last year or something?
He hit 16 in 99 games, but down the stretch he didn't hit any. But, I mean, his OPS is still 823 in those 99 games. Obviously, that's not A-Rod stuff. But, again, he's getting older. But, if he's healthy, I still think he can put up pretty solid numbers is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I saw that he was having a pretty good spring training.
Yeah. I mean, first pitch of spring, he hit right center home off a Halladay.
Halladay.
I was watching that. I was loving it. Absolutely loving it.
So, I do see them having Granderson number 2, Cano 3, A-Rod 4. On their lineup.
Yeah.
I definitely think they moved Teixeira down just because, God, he just can't hit. And
he's still he still produces runs.
I love his defense.
He's obviously great over there.
The best
saves everybody like 10 errors a year. But
and then they just moved down to Swisher, who
I like Swish.
I do like Swish. I don't know if he's gonna have
a
great year this year.
I don't see him tailing off too much. I mean, he's still going to walk. He's still going to get on base, and that's really all I'll take. If he hits, 20, 25 homers, drives in 80 runs, and, has an on base of 375-ish, I'll take that every single day. So, and he's become a pretty solid defender out there and right.
He is, and he's on his last year of his contract, so there's, he has to prove it to the Yankees this year because they still haven't signed him. Mm-hmm. And they don't sign during the year, they signed after.
They do.
So. Then they got Russell Martin. I have him at number 7. Raul Banya's 8, and Gardner 9. Yeah. To finish it up there.
Yeah, I like Martin as a catcher. I mean, he's not really that great of a hitter at all.
But he did have a good year, though.
He had 18
power-wise. He
had 18 homers, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Ever since his rookie year, he was
phenomenal.
I think one rookie of the year. Yeah.
The Dodgers a couple years ago,
and he just
started to tail off.
He just couldn't hit. I mean, he's still a great defensive catcher. I mean, he worked well with the staff last year, I thought. He's pretty good at throwing guys out.
I mean, we talked about this though. If you have a great defensive catcher who will hit, 260, there's not much more that you can ask out of that catcher.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd like to see him hit a little better this year. I mean, he hit 237 last year. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there were a little. I mean, he was more clutch than 230 hitter, I think. But
honestly, when I saw his stat that he hit 230, I wouldn't have thought so, just because by watching the Yankee games, he was clutch and he did come through in a lot of places. So
it was a good 230, I guess you can say, about as good as you can get for a 230 hitter. So I mean, we'll see that. But I'd like to see Gardner continue to steal more. This last year, I was pretty happy with. The year before, he tended to wait too much. He got too deep in the counts before he stole. And this past year, he was just going. He's got to realize that he's the fastest guy alive, and he should just go.
And they just need to let him
get on base and go.
Let him do his thing. That's all they need to do. And he's just such a unique player, especially on the Yankees, because they're all about average and
they actually
home
were
runs.
really good stolen base last year.
Right, and I think they're really turning the table, because you look, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, it's a totally different team. It's now more, running the ball, running and stealing, because Granderson and Gardner, obviously.
Jeter stole 16 last year.
It's a different. It just looks like a different team to me than it used to be, because it used to be all about the power. I mean, you thought Yankees, you were like, wow, A-Rod power.
Just I mean,
everyone
they're
was
first
power.
in homers and third in steals, so it's not bad. It's not bad when you got that combination going on. But I mean, obviously their hitting's fine, and their pitching is it's definitely a lot deeper now, especially that they got Pettit. I like it. Kuroda, I don't know how he's going to do. I don't really like the whole NL-AL switch over thing.
I never liked that either. It's just AL is so much tougher than
especially the AL. I mean, when you're coming from the NL West, who has nobody can hit out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then you come here to the AL East, and it's just a powerhouse division.
I think he'll have a high 3 ERA, and he'll win like 10 to 12 games. I think he'll be.
Yeah, I mean he'll be solid.
He'll be what he signed him for. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. But hopefully Nova can. I think he'll obviously. I don't think he'll
have as great as he had last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen again. He's gonna fall back to earth.
No.
The rotation, you're right. It does have more depth. It still has work to be done, I think.
Exactly.
But as for transitioning from last year to this year, it's a lot better.
It's a lot better.
And I'll give it to Cashman. He did a good job putting it together.
Yeah.
Got CC, Kuroda, then I think Pineda, Nova.
I like Hughes.
For the fifth start,
put Hughes in there.
Put him in there, either him or Garcia, and then eventually in May. I mean, you got to think Pettit's coming back.
Yeah, Pettit will be back.
I don't know who goes down, but
yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough, depending on Pineda. I think if they're gonna drop somebody, they might drop Pineda just because he is still young, and if he's struggling, give him some time to figure everything out. But obviously, I like Hughes. I think he's been pitching very well this spring. I've always liked Hughes as a starter, and I think, hopefully he can come back to how he was a couple of years ago in the first half of that year when he went 18-8. And if he can do that again, that would be huge, absolutely huge behind CC. So I mean, we'll see. And then the bullpen, I do like the bullpen, even with Java going down. That
was
poor Java.
Devastating news for Java.
Yeah, he was doing so well, recovering and everything, and then
I think he'll probably be out for at least half of the year.
Yeah, he's not coming back for a while. But I mean, you still got Rivera.
Robertson just looked amazing last year.
Robertson's ridiculous.
You have any one of those 5 starters that, because when Pettit comes back, definitely will go to the bullpen. I don't see them putting them down in the minors. They got the killer bees. They have Garcia. It looks like a pretty deep bullpen again.
I like Soriano this year. If he's, I think he started turning around second half of the year after he came back from injury. So if he has a full season of doing pitching like that, that's a solid Rivera, Robertson, Soriano. I like that.
It takes a year to transition, to a new team, to a new environment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're right. I think he's gonna have a great year. And Robertson, he just had to be the best non-closer last year.
Robertson was very, very good. Very good.
Yeah, so that's a huge 7, 8, 9
yeah, definitely,
bullpen.
Definitely. And you still got Boone back there, Corey Wade. I'd like to see them maybe throw Betances in there too.
I would love to see at least one of them out there.
I don't see really Buñuelos yet. I think he's definitely more of a. I could see Betances more as a bullpen guy. He's got more of a power arm, I guess, and but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. As we always say.
Hey, exactly. That's how we say it when we're done, I guess. But I'm just excited with the Pineda thing for their rotation down the road. It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be huge. They have Pineda, Betances, like we said, and
Buñuelos, Hughes, and Nova. That's ridiculous.
And even CC still.
CC still there.
CC still got at least 5-6 years left, and who knows when he's gonna retire?
I like that rotation a lot. And even though they did give up Montero, they got Gary Sanchez, who's insane.
Right, Sanchez is a pretty good catcher as well.
So.
And if you think about it, they still sign free agents.
Exactly.
And to put it out there, Zach Greinke is a free agent next year.
Yeah.
I do like him. I think he's underrated.
I don't like Greinke. Dude's a head case.
So last year or this past year was the hitters off season. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Every single hitter. Pujols,
Fielder. There you go.
Next year, I don't know if you looked at who's
Cole
free agents.
I like Cole Hamels.
Hamels, Greinke. There's a ton of pitchers, stud pitchers out there. That the Yankees, if they can go get one of them, I think you put them back in the World Series talk every single year. Because
they're young guys, too.
And I think Cole Hamels, I don't know, we haven't covered the Phillies yet, but Cole Hamels, I think he's going for the Cy Young this year. I think he's good. This is his contract year.
He's very, very good.
We won't even talk about it right now.
We gotta get to the race. We're coming up on time here. We gotta get to the race.
10 minutes.
Yeah. The Rays. I like the Rays.
I think they're gonna win it.
I mean,
not the whole thing. I think they're gonna win the AL East.
Their pitching is very good.
I think you gotta put Price in for Cy Young talks.
I think he's gonna have a monster bounce back year. He was second in Cy Young 2 years ago. Last year he had a little bit of a rough year, but I think he'll be fine this year. And then with Shields is just a gamer. Hellickson and Matt Moore. I love Matt Moore.
I picked him.
Can't wait to see him pitch.
In every fantasy league I have, I picked him. I picked him for AL Rookie of the Year just because I don't like any of the hitters in the league.
No.
Except for Brett Laurie.
We'll get to him tomorrow.
But I picked Moore for AL Rookie of the Year. If you have a rotation that's Shields, Price as your number one, number two, Hellickson, who I think is great. A lot of people were down on him last year, but I like him. And then Moore is your number four, and maybe Niemann. Niemann, throw him in there, number five, maybe.
Yeah, I had Wade Davis as my 5 guy.
Either one of those two you can throw in there. That's a terrific starting rotation.
The only thing I don't like is their bullpen. I really don't like it at all. I think Farnsworth had a really good year last year, but again, if Farnsworth is my closer, I would not like that. I don't care what he did last year, but Farnsworth is a mess. They don't really. Peralta as their setup guy. He's not bad, but we'll see. J.P. Howell is all right. Jake McGee's good against the lefties, but gets pounded against everybody else. They got Rodney back there too now, and he's a mess, that guy. So I don't really see their bullpen being too strong. I mean, I think their rotations will be.
I think the rotation can get at least 7.
No, yeah, their rotation will carry them, but in terms of having a strong bullpen, I don't like that at all.
Yeah. I mean, you throw in there last year's Rookie of the Year and Hellickson, and I'm picking him for Rookie of the Year and Matt Moore this year's.
Yeah.
I can definitely see Price bouncing back, being in Cy Young talks again.
I think he'll be up there.
This rotation looks dangerous, absolutely dangerous.
It's ridiculous. And then you get Longoria. I mean,
Longoria's gonna bounce.
He's gonna.
There's no way you can't bounce back from that kind of season.
He's gonna have a monster year. I mean, he only played in 130 games or something. He's still at 31 homers and had 99 RBIs.
They were looking for power last year. They didn't really have a great power year, so they re-signed Carlos Pena.
Yeah, they brought him back.
And he'll definitely get them power, especially in that stadium. The ball just flies in there.
Yeah, he feels comfortable there, I think. He had his best years there. He's coming back to that. He strikes out a lot, but he walks a ton, and I like that.
I mean, I don't know. I can take it if he's going to strike out but give you power and give you walks, like you said.
He walked 101
you just expect
times.
it, so.
We'll see a full season from Desmond Jennings.
I'm not too high on him this year. I'll be high on him other years. I just think he has a lot to.
He still has a lot to
improve on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. We will see a
full season from
full season. I just don't think he's gonna have it. I think expectations are too high for him at this point. Let's just put it
they're a
that
little
way.
too high, I think, because he came in real hot last year.
He had a really good.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was looking forward to him coming.
People
He had a
started to
good
figure him out
start.
towards the end.
Right.
He came in way too high and then he cooled off. But, we'll see. And obviously Zobrist, he's a good hitter over there at second. He can play anywhere.
He is.
They signed Luke Scott, too. He had an off year last year. He only played 64 games, but, usually he gives you 20 homers. So, I mean, that could be a big signing for them if he can bounce back. And they're a good team.
Yep.
They're a good team.
I think you have Jennings and Upton, who are pretty good runners at the starting two positions of your lineup.
Yeah.
Right behind them is Longoria Pena, who just can smack the ball wherever they want, basically.
They're the
I definitely
boppers.
think they filled holes and solved a lot of their problems this offseason.
Definitely. They're looking good. They're looking good, especially, I think if Longoria can just stay healthy, then they're going to be golden. I think that's
Well,
one of their...
If he's not doing well, I mean, he's the
Yeah.
unspoken leader of that team.
Yeah. But we'll see. We shall see. I mean, I think this is just going to be like a 1A, 1B, I don't know who to pick this division. I mean, the Red Sox, we'll get to them tomorrow with the Jays. And, they're obviously just as good as everybody else, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's going to be a fun division.
It will be.
Fun year. So,
You're right, though. I have no idea who to... I mean, I said I like the Rays, but you're right. It's just... There's no one to pick, really. It's just like picking...
Because I like
straws.
so much out of every single one of these teams, but then again, there's always that one thing about... Because I think the Rays have the best pitching out of three. The Red Sox, I haven't looked at them yet. I'll do that today, but I think they have a couple questions in the rotation.
I think the biggest thing with the Red Sox is the fact that the locker room last year was just such a mess, and they're bringing in a new head coach who not everyone has bought into yet. Who's already making up rules in the locker room, like no beer in the locker room.
Yeah.
That a lot of players are not going to like. So I just that's my only downfall for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but you're right. Each team has something.
There's something that I
that
really,
could
really
go
like.
wrong or could go right.
Exactly.
And obviously we can't account for injuries just yet.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if any of those three won the division. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would not be surprised.
It's either the Yankees' old age catches up to them, like you said, the Rays' bullpen just doesn't do well, or the Red Sox organization doesn't hold up to it.
Yeah.
So many things could go wrong.
Exactly.
Or go right.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
But we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I think the Jays are interesting. Interesting, too.
They are.
They're
I like them.
Yeah. It'll be tough for them in the division, but...
It's unfortunate they play in that division. I think if they play in any division, they would a number 1 or 2 team.
Definitely, especially the Central.
But they're always number 4.
I feel terrible. Absolutely terrible. But we'll wrap it up with a little Tiger winning. Mention a little Tiger.
Go for it.
He first win for Tiger. Big Tig since 2009. This is huge for him. Absolutely ginormous. Going into the Masters, which is not this weekend, but the following Easter weekend, I think it is. Yeah, Easter weekend, April 5th.
Yeah, a weekend from...
Yeah. So I think this will just make everything, the Masters, just so much more interesting now, because obviously everybody's coming out. You got Rory losing his number 1, and he's going to want to get that back in the Masters. All the big-time players are obviously going to be there. Tiger coming off a win.
It was a huge win for him.
Huge win.
He has so much more momentum now following him. He's now the 6th best player in the world. Let's put it that way. Rory lost his number 1.
Rory lost number 1. I think that'd be awesome for him to get it back. And I think, as a Rory fan, I think to see him really be the best, I want to see him take down Tiger in a major. Is what it comes down to. And I think he can, but especially now that Tiger is playing pretty well, it won't be a cheap win for anybody. Tiger's coming in strong.
And like you said, he needs to. You want to see him take down Tiger.
Yeah.
I think Tiger needs to be better than he is right now in order
definitely.
for Rory to get that, feeling of taking him down.
He is coming back though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He played pretty well this weekend. I got to watch a little bit of it in between the basketball stuff, but he's looking pretty good. The field this week wasn't as strong as it usually is for for the tournaments that he plays in anyway. But there's still guys out there. He was playing with Graham McDowell yesterday, and he's a good player. I mean, he blew him out of the water though. He won by 5, and that was after bogey on second hole, where some people were probably like, "Oh, Tiger's collapsing already," but then he bounced back with a birdie, and then just ended up winning by I think 5 strokes. So he looked good yesterday, and throughout the whole tournament. So I think the Masters is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
By then, basketball will be over, so you got some.
Baseball will be on.
Yeah, baseball will be on though.
Yeah.
March is, besides the fact that football isn't in March, it's just the most ridiculous month.
Yeah.
'Cause every single sport is on.
It's crazy. But I think
that's it for today.
That does it. That does it.
You were listening to Daily Sports Rant. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Peace out.